Good morning, viewers. It's 7:15 a.m. on Tuesday, the 1st of February, 2024. And as we head on into this segment, we're happy to welcome on set with us Orville Dillon, Director of Cruise and Ground Transportation at Total. And we're speaking about an update on Tobago's cruise ship season. Good morning to you and welcome.
Good morning, sir.
Oh,
Thanks for having me.
All right, excellent indeed, and we're happy to have you here with us. As we get the conversation started this morning, we want to chat just a little bit in terms of speak very broadly about those projections for this cruise season. How is it working out for us in Tobago?
It's working out very good. They are coming fast and furious. We have about 30 came already, and we have about 35 more to come. And also, we are in the process of going to Miami to see if we can get more to come, like during the off season. You know, last week we had a week of cruise ships every day, and the guys complained. They said they are very tired. So I said, what about if we are getting one every day or two every day? You all complain about other islands getting every day. So we have a taste of getting one every day in the week, and you are tired already.
So just remind us again, when does the cruise ship period run from here in Tobago?
It run from November to April.
All right.
And after April, it shut off. But that didn't say that the cruise shut off. You know, they go to different stages, right? Like they wouldn't come every day. In other countries, you might get 2 a week or 3 a week, but in Tobago we have none. So we have to fix that.
So based on what you've said, approximately thus far for the season, we've got 30 plus that have already come in terms of visiting the island. And I've certainly, from even my passing through Scarborough, seen some repeat visits in the lineup there, which is probably a very good indication on the part of the work being done. And then we're anticipating 30 plus more. Tell us, in terms of the response that you're seeing potentially for this season, would you describe this definitely as one of our better seasons in these times, especially coming back after the COVID-19?
Yes, it is after COVID-19. This is only the second season, and it is very, very good. The past 20 years, we haven't got so much cruise ship in Tobago. The jewel of the sea that came there, you know, they have 25 calls, so they will come every Wednesday with 25 calls, you know. So they have a few more. The Costa Magica, they have a few more also. So when you see, like, we have repeat ships, it's because of the amount of calls that one ship have.
Excellent. Now, just for the benefit of all of viewers, when you're saying repeat calls, ultimately bringing different groups to the island on every occasion.
Different people.
All right.
All the time. People from Australia all about come and take the cruise, because you see where they load from. You know, different people fly in and load the ship. So not the same people going around all the time.
Yes. So one of the things you mentioned, most definitely, it appears that by virtue of your information, within the last, they said, 20 years or so, certainly leading to an excellent season. Bearing in mind some of the controversy that wanted to surround Total and the resignation of the chair and CEO, what would you say has contributed in terms of to such a good season and such an excellent season in the industry? Tell us a little bit about that background work and efforts.
Well, we did some work. When I get into office for the past 2 years, right, I went to like Santo Domingo. I had chat with different cruise lines there. And also we went to sea trade that always take place in March or April. This year is in April. Last year was in March, the end of March. And we met different cruise lines, and they are ready to come to Tobago. But there are some things that we have to fix in order to get more cruise lines. Because, for example, like Charlottesville, they are the big yachting companies who want to bring the big yachts, you know, like holding 80, 90 people, which is good for that. But we did a little more work on the jetty. The pier need to go out a little more so that we can accommodate them. Because for the season, we had a ship coming to Charlottesville, and because of the swells, they could not offload. So we have to revert to Scarborough, and that was a long drive. You drive up to Charlottesville, and they said, okay, we cannot offload, we will go to Scarborough. That is a drive back down to Scarborough. So we want to cut that out.
As we're talking about drive as well, just give us some updates also on the transportation situation. I know the last time we were having a conversation, it was troubled times for us here in Tobago. Tell us, how has that been since?
That being fixed and fixed very well. I can show you. Last Saturday, we ran up to 40 buses. Because the numbers went up, and you didn't hear a quarrel said we didn't have adequate transportation. That means things put in place, and it's working very well now. I hope we can keep that, going, so that is the feedback that the ships will like to hear, because they sell tours, and when they sell tours, they want to make a profit on their tours. They cannot make money if the tours then go out when it comes to land. To us, if we don't take them out, that means the ship don't make money, they have to refund.
All right. Excellent indeed to know that there's definitely improvement there, because certainly that was a worry for us, and to reassure all our viewers, particularly those international and abroad, things are under control and people are certainly coming to enjoy the island and enjoy the space by way of a cruise. So in case you're on a cruise listening to this interview, we're ready to welcome you here in Tobago. One of the areas I'd also want to get your feedback on, the cost affiliated as it relates to getting these cruise lines here. Is it only an upfront cost, for example, sending out our teams like yourself and others in terms of promotion, or is there also a cost attached when the cruise comes here?
Only the crews have to pay a cost when they come here, but we is like, you're going to look for business. One of the things that I looked at, being up there, being at the top of the table, sitting on the board, there are some things that I noticed. Tobago is lacking of tour operators. We don't get enough tour operators. Long ago, it have a lot of tour operators, so you used to get a lot of people coming into Tobago, because different tour operators have the different people who will market for them. Now we only have one or two tour operators, so it's not good for us. We need to get more tour operators.
So therefore, there's definitely an avenue there for looking at growth and development. And these tour operators, the two that we treat with now, are based here in Trinidad and Tobago?
In Tobago, yeah.
Based
yes,
in Tobago.
In Tobago. Long ago, I can tell you it had good time tours, it had travel, Tobago travel. There was a lot of them, about 10 of them. So if 10 of us going out and market, remember that's plenty people. If 10 of us have 10 people, that's 100. Some may have more, if you get me. But if one tour operator just marketing, we might get 10 or 15.
All right. So
it's if you avenue, understand.
Yes, an avenue to try to be able to secure more. Tell us about the work of TTAL in that regard, as it relates to making efforts to build out this industry even further at this time.
Well, TTAL is doing plenty, and they are spending a lot of money. But still yet, it needs the tour operators. It needs private people. The TTAL is only one agency that does that. But remember, TTAL cannot be that tour operator. The private people have to take that up.
All right. So I want to indicate further to that. Tell us what the support has been like from the substantive division with responsibility, because certainly there is that connection in terms of the product that we are putting out there, the working relations to the benefit of the people of Tobago, that connection between the Tobago Tourism Agency Limited, TTAL, and also the Division of Tourism, Culture, Antiquities, and Transportation.
Well, the two of them are together, right? Because, they work together, but they are TTAL have its own work to do, and the division have its own work. TTAL is the market, right? And we does that, and I think we does that very well. As I said, the private people have to get into it more, and we will get more. If you look at other islands when they are marketing, for example, I will use St. Lucia as an example. They have plenty tour operators, so they get plenty business, but we are only two.
So certainly that's an area that we have to work
We
on
have to
based,
follow that.
based on what you're indicating. I want to find out further to that, the spin-off and the additional benefits that can be derived right here in Tobago. Tell us about how has the response been in relation to vendors and others setting up. I remember one of the issues being raised is that, when you have tours coming in here on a weekend, depending on if it's a Sunday and a cruise ship is here, really and truly we hope for the businesses and vendors to come out. How has that response been now?
They're still not coming out. They're still not coming out. And, sometimes the feedback from the visitors is like, don't go out there, there's nothing to see. And we have to change that. We must get things to see. I think we can do better with the Esplanade and we can do better like on a Sunday. Himself is there alone, that will be open. We can fill it up with different things, make it look nice and at one time I know they had a show in the Esplanade where they have different booths with different things there, that can be a welcome.
So does that now speak to an opportunity on the part of TTAL to, let's say, partner with, make the necessary connections, have a meeting with, and try to arrange before we get to the end of the season? Because there's still some time. We're at the start of February. We have until April to try to turn that situation around as best as possible. And any other stakeholders, vendors, and others, who can definitely play a part in this. Is that something TTAL might be able to look at and to work towards?
Yes, we looked at that and we are trying to improve on that, especially on a Sunday, we can make that transition to get the place, get the Esplanade in good action, with different people taking a little boot, himself, everybody love freeness. So if the first time we try it, we give everybody a little space and see how it works. But I know it will work well because on a Sunday there is nothing in the town.
So that's definitely an avenue to be explored, even if it means starting off by TTAL looking at taking on that responsibility with tourism for coordinating it along with the Esplanade to allow people to see the benefits that can be derived, and then you can always take a different look down the road in terms of how you approach it in the final analysis. Is there any additional information that you would definitely want to share with us in this interview before we close today, as you represent the TTAL?
Yeah, I want to say that the locals, we complain a lot, but we know we don't do enough. We must come out because there are avenues that you have a business, right? And you will see things that you want to improve on. TTAL is there. Come, go talk with them because they will be able to help and to set you in the right direction in order to get your business moving. They are also the business development unit. You can go to them, this is an avenue that I see that I can work on, because we need that. We need that. Come. Another thing, we are building a new airport. When the new airport is finished, do we have place to accommodate visitors? Because we have no hotels. We need more hotels. When last one of our hotels here close a wing and fix a wing and make it look nice, because it is changing. People are not into that kind of styling again. Everybody wants a different styling. They want to go to a nice hotel.
Well, certainly, I think we're making some moves in that regard. I've had the opportunity to be at one or two recently, and definitely showing some have taken up the opportunity to improve, and some are still required to. Just before we close quickly, there was that all over social media with regards to this taxi driver and the lady herself that made a report about what appeared to be extortion and so on. Have we arrested that kind of situation? Because it's no secret, while we may not know the name or it may not be published of who the taxi driver is, the video was clear enough for you to see that visual, for you all who are in the industry to know definitely who the individual is. Can we be assured that there has been some sort of follow-up action to really get a perspective, to get a view, and to ensure that something like that never happens again, if there was any truth at all to the story?
I did some investigation on my own, and it is not material. That story is not thing, because there is a price list, and you walk to the price list or wherever you want to go, And what I gathered is that, maybe that person didn't like the area that they went to, and they didn't want to, maybe really want to pay the cost. That story, because it never go further or anything like that. I didn't take that.
All right. Duly noted there in terms of the update being provided. So once again, we want to say thank you very much to Orville Dillon for joining us here on set, a Director of Cruise and Ground Transportation at the Tobago Tourism Agency Limited, TTAL, providing us here with an update on Tobago's cruise ship season. And as a reminder, in case you missed the start, he's indicated to us that we've had about 35, in terms of here thus far from November to present, and we are anticipating another 30 or so coming before the end of the cruise ship season in April. So let's just remember that we have a collective responsibility. We have a collective responsibility as the island as we look out to continue welcoming our visitors. And I'm hoping by the next time we have him on set, he will certainly be updating us about the fact that the meetings and the engagements have taken place with the other stakeholder entities. And when cruise ships come here on a weekend, we can also see the benefit of our vendors and all of Tobago really making that extra effort to bring things alive. In other words, visitors to our island should wonder if there's a difference visiting here on a weekend versus visiting here during the week. So once again, thank you very much to Orville Dillon, representing the Tobago Tourism Agency Limited. Viewers, we want to thank you so much for your continued love and support and for choosing the Tobago Updates morning show. And to indicate to you, we have coming up next Bishop Terence Baines, and he'll be speaking about in his capacity as Bishop of the Victory Place International Tobago, and it's about the World Interfaith Harmony Week. A man that wears many hats, so I have to look onto my rundown to verify which one he's coming forward with this morning to bring us that enlightenment and information. So again, viewers, we want to thank you so much for the continued love and support, and to remind you that this is your opportunity to share the live, share the live, share the live. We'll be right back.